Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to Armored Warfare for the continuation of our new player guide series as we go through core workings and mechanics here in the game. Before we actually even get to the combat, there's just a lot of groundwork to cover, as it were. So last week, I think it was last week, we talked about all these different ways of navigating through the garage. And now we're going to go ahead and start looking at more of those specific things. Now, that was if we pressed the F1 key, you had all these options here. And I'm not going to do like 19 or quote-unquote 18 videos going through one by one at a time. Like, we'll package some of those things in together. But one of the big things, which it's not exciting, but this video is designated to talking about the menu, because there's actually a lot of things you can cover here, and it's really helpful. There's a few things here that's actually really beneficial for me as a beginning player. Back when I first started playing Armored Warfare, that I had a friend help me with. And so I want to do that here with you today, and just kind of going through and showing you some different things of having a full menu, or you want like a windowed screen where you can be able to see and go back to Discord or come back into the game. This, that, and the other, because Armored Warfare is a bit touchy when it comes to those type of things, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the settings here. So we have controls, gameplay, graphics, social, sound, and the UI. But we're going to start off with the controls. Now, I'm not going to meticulously go through this one by one, but I just want to kind of give you a general overview, so to speak. Some things I might hit a little bit more detailed on, but in general, we're not going to go like overboard in terms of the details. So when you go through here, you can actually, as you have this panel on the left, mouse movement, actions, toolbar, all that, right? But if I just scroll through here, I'm hitting each of these different things. So there's movement, there's actions. So just so you're not confused by that. And then, as we look at these, different things. I don't know how that actually was. Let's see. Let's reset that. Reset your changes, confirm. Yeah, it was down to 1. We can come down through here and we can click on the different ones, and it'll actually give us a little description here on the far right panel. So if you're a little confused by something, just click on it here on the actual name of it, not on the actual slider as I did here. And it will give you that detailed kind of further description. So the first off you just have is the mouse. Whether it's the first person X, first person Y, third person X, you can adjust all these, the sensitivity, moving your mouse around. You can invert the horizontal, invert the vertical, and then the cursor and the match. Like if I want to pull this up on the screen, I'll just hold left control. I can change that to a different key if I want to. Movement, pretty straightforward. It's your WASD keys, right? ADWS, and then you have auto forward, auto reverse, as we talked about in that training mission in the series. If you want to brake and hold the brake, it's the space bar. If you want to lock your hull into position, then you just press X. And then if you hold the mouse 2 key, or you could change it, you can just kind of do a free view, or also known as free look in some games. And actions, these are controls, so you can see that we can change the hotkey for these different abilities, right? You can also come in here and kind of understand as a newer player how do these various things work here in the game as well. Really helpful. The infantry command, if you want infantry to exit your vehicle or come in, if you're like in A of a V as an example. We can use these keys to max zoom in, max zoom out, but then you just have your zoom in, zoom out. Like if you click shift key, right, and then you can zoom in with the wheel. And then you also have a spectator camera as well. The toolbar, So this is just your ammo and your consumables. So then again, you can just change what key you have those on if you want to. Chat, you have you can toggle chat. Here it has the enter key, but change the chat channel. So whether you're talking like in maybe your battalion mates, or to the enemy team, or just to your team as a collective, you just cycle through with the tab key. You can toggle chat alt, just a J, team K, and it's platoon is what they call it, L. So they have some hotkeys specific there as well. Quick chat, as many games have this. You have the attack, follow me, defend base, fall back, affirmative, negative, help, reloading, halt, thank you. Mostly tied to the F keys here. I've never actually really used these. Interestingly enough, I'm not sure, but I just really don't use them. It'd probably be more helpful for me as a player. I'd be probably contributing more to my team, especially if I'm playing maybe ranked as an example. It'd be really good for me to get these down memorized. Overlays, results, the tab screen, you can just hold tab and see the radial command menu. So then you can hold the Z key and then choose the activate the chat overlay. Then you have, if you want to change the minimap size, you can use your equals and minus key, and that will change it being bigger or smaller. And then you can cycle the team list right or cycle the team list left. Social is just like a screenshot. So if you have some post-battle results, like for me, I use the Xbox gaming bar, I think it's called. So I think it's just the Windows G key I use, but you can also just use the print key. And if you want to change this, of course, in hotkey to something else, you can. And then you have match replay. So you can actually watch a battle that you have played. And so here's the replay control panel, which would be the is that the 0 key? I don't think that's the O. Maybe it is the 0. Okay, let's click on it and see if I click O. Okay, it's not. Let's see. I think I have. Let's click L. Yeah, so O. Zero. Yeah, it looks like it's just the 0. Well, no, maybe it is the O key. But I think that key it's bound to something else right now. Oh, that's the same key. That it is the O key. Okay. I was just curious, right? It's hard to sometimes tell to distinguish the O from the 0. But it could be the 0. I don't know. But it seems like it is the, because when I click O, it doesn't change. If I click 0, it does change. So it's probably the O key. The number pad O. But it's just 0, but it's just the O key. Play pause, P, increase the playback speed, decrease playback speed, page up, page down. And you can always reset key bindings, make it default in case you're worried if you accidentally change something. Going into the gameplay, there's just 3 things here: general, in, match, and reverse. Again, it's the same, so we have this panel on the left, the details in the center, or what we want to change, and then a description of what those things are on the right panel here. So general, you have idle camera, skip the intro, last match recording, customization. Those things are a combination of the off and on. In match, you have a horizontal camera stabilization, so I could turn that off if I wanted to. I could also change camera shaking. Do I want the camera always shaking, or only when I fire a shot, only upon receiving damage, or just disable it entirely? Do I want the scroll wheel cam shift? Enable the transfer from the third person camera mode to the sniper camera mode by using the scroll wheel on, right? So I can zoom from the third person all the way into the first person view, or sniper view, I guess. Limit the camera by gun depression. You can turn that on and off. No friendly fire off. Disable the ability to shoot at your teammates. Does not work in the realistic battle mode. Hit feedback opacity. Adjust the transparency of hit decals on your vehicle, so I can decrease or increase it. Hit feedback duration. So I think this is like 2 seconds. Set duration of decals on your vehicle. Reverse steering inversion, tracked wheels off, steering inversion, wheeled vehicles off. So if you want those on, you just can simply come in here and click and turn those on. Graphics, you have basic, advanced, other. So, here's your screen resolution. So with my setup, I can run the 1920 by 1080. The screen is that we just have one screen to utilize. I don't have a two-screen setup, although I just bought another monitor, but I haven't set that up yet with a new PC. And then you have the quality in terms of the graphics quality. So we have it set to maximum. Vertical sync, learning the region, and sometimes it throws off how I pronounce English words. Adjust the aliasing settings. I think that's how you say it. Good lord. So we can come in and adjust that here. Not that I entirely know what that does. And then this is something that you might actually find rather beneficial. It's the window type. So right now I have a windowed feature. So I can actually come up here and X out of the game. I can see my taskbar down here at the bottom, which I think I actually have blocked off. So I can change that to being a full screen and applying that. And then that is completely gone. But then sometimes, like, depending on maybe your what keys you have set, if you don't have like a second monitor, if I'm trying to get to Discord, then it's actually kind of a pain to do that. So that's why I have it as windowed and running it. Then you have borderless window. So that just looks like it opened up things a bit more. But I prefer the windowed. But I can take that away as well if I want, although that's somehow changed. There we go. Field of view, you can adjust that if you want a larger field of view or a smaller field of view. So here, I think this is the default settings, 55. The gamma, you can change the gamma value. The garage, we can have a normal garage or simplified garage. There's also a colorblind mode. So you can see we can come in through here and change these different levels if you have some sightseeing challenges with colors. In the advanced, you have rendering, textures, object detail, water, lighting, particles, physics, shadows, all these things. If it's eating up too much on your graphics card or just too much on your central processing unit, you can come in here and you can make things a little less if you need to. Mine graphics card on this PC is a NVIDIA. It's a GTX, what do you call it? GTX 1660 Ti. Is what I run, but on my new one, I think I have a. Where did it go? Oh, it's buried in a bunch of boxes. It's a 40 something. Yeah, so there's more things. Volumetric effects, dynamic screen resolution, 3D render resolution, feet per second limit in battle. So the setting limits the maximum frames per second, not feet per second. I said feet per second. Frames per second value when in a battle. And then there's a limit here as well. And then other is just whether you want the transparent foliage, grass rendering for, we're talking about sniper or the artillery, dirty optics, chromatic aberration, dirt in the garage, dirt in the match. So if you want to be able to shut some of those things off, like you don't want to have dirty optics, it stimulates the real life look of tank optics for this sniper mode. So if you want it to be like clear, I just shut it off versus it being like dirty and things on it. And then we have social, not too much here, so you just have chat and friends. So you have a profanity filter in the game, so you can turn that off and on. Regional messages, so messages from users of your region only, you can turn that off and on. You have the all chat, disable the all chat, so if you don't want to see it at all, you can just completely obliterate that, and same with team chat. Disable the emoticons, emote icons. There's like ones I think you can have like tanks or smiley faces and stuff like that. So if you don't want it to be shown, you can turn that off. Timestamps include time and garage chat messages. You can turn that on. Actually, I might want that on, to be honest. Include time in garage chat messages. Yeah, I think I'll have that on. Friends, you have friends online. What this does is it notifies when friends appear online, so you get some notification, probably somewhere on the screen, that you have a friend who's joined on game. You can ignore friend requests. You don't want to accept any, you can turn that on. Platoon invites from friends only, I have that off, so like I could be invited by any random person in the game. Then we have sound. So you have your main, your volume, your sound, and subtitles. So the main is just the master and the quality of the sound, and then the play in background. Continue to play in the in-game sounds while the game window is inactive or minimized. Have that off. Then you have volume. So whether it's your music, you want to adjust the sound effects, volume, dialogues. There's a lot of dialogues in this game through various operations you'll play. If your engine's a little too loud, you can come in here and turn that down. Weapon, shell impacts, explosions, environment. If you kind of get too tired of hearing too much background, you can turn it down. User interface, collisions. Then we have sound. You have enemy spotted sound, mini map, ping sound on. You know, if those are bothering you, you can turn them off. You can mute non-crew dialogue. Then commendation sounds. You know, you can turn on, displays a sound effect when a commendation is received. So if you've got like the blue star, I can't remember all the commendations right now, but you can have a little icon going off. You have subtitles. You can turn those on or off, and then the Tank Gang radio, disable Woody's Tank Gang radio voiceover in your garage. We have that on because otherwise Woody's just like talking all the time. So yeah, I mean, he already is, but we can just disable that. So yeah. And then the last thing is the UI. So this is, you see in match, the reticle, the mini map, vehicle status, team colors, vehicle marker, damage tables, combat log, commendations, and confirmation. So I'll try not to take very long on this. Basically what you see is what you get, so to speak. That's basically the best way you can even describe coming into the menu and going through the settings. But here in the UI, you can turn the mini map off or on, and this is an example of the mini map here. The vehicle status, display the vehicle status panel, which I think that's the bottom left over here. Combat panel, display the panel with ammo, consumables, and abilities. That's down here. Match notifications, display the notifications at the bottom of the battle interface. Connection and ping, display the connection status and ping, so I can see how my ping can jump. Vice versa, depending on maybe what server or region you're on, right? Combat chat on, combat log, toggle the combat log, allied team list, enemy team list. We can see the score, display the general operation score panel, or the number of players left in a random battle. Incoming damage off, show the incoming damage table. Outgoing damage, you can turn that table off. Objectives, we want to see objectives, so we have that on. I think this is on the top right of the screen, if I remember right. Commendation visibility. We have that on, and then hit markers we have off. Show additional markers where your shots hit the target. These indicate how successful your shot was, so we could actually turn that on if we want. Then you have the reticle. So we have the auto aim tooltip on. I think, I'm wondering if that's where you get the green, yellow, or like, was it red, and depending on if you'll have penetration or not. Yeah, I think so. So you can leave that, you can turn that off if you don't like it. Hit indicator, this indicator is shown around the main reticle when hitting an enemy. Smoke, APS, the panel shows the active protection system status. That's good. Weapon status, active weapons only, disabled or all weapons. The setting of the active weapon panel appears ammo status, reloading, info. Target hit points shows your target's hit points while you're aiming at it. So I have it just set, or it's set as the sniper mode only, or you can just have it enabled. Then you, again, there's just a lot of options here. I'll try not to go into depth, but you can see cannon, autocannon, anti-tank guided missile, your SPG with your artillery, your primary color, and then the actual color observed in the game may differ from your selection due to its interaction with the game's environment. And then you have a secondary color you can do here, but you have a whole, like, You have a whole, option list of things that you can choose. And in the mini map, you can have the cursor off or on. What this does is displays a mouse cursor on the mini map. It's actually off here. Kind of interesting. Size, we can adjust the size of the mini map here as well. So we just have it as the default. And then opacity, so if you want to, you want it to be more visible through the map. You don't want it as like strong. I don't know if they'll actually show us here. No, they don't show us here. So if you don't want it to stand out so strong against the background, you want to blend through a little more, you can, I think, turn that down is how it works. You have team colors. So you can come in here and you can change that completely. So we have the indicator color for the enemy, for team, for who you are, platoon members, indicator color for NPC, and then indicator color for a team killer, someone who's killed a teammate. So we can change these around to something else that we really like. So I might be tempted to come in here later and change some colors. So maybe as an example, I don't like that it's orange for me, so I can come in here and then I just choose green. I could do that, or I could make green for my platoon mates, and the list kind of goes on from there. Vehicle marker, damage indicators direct, above indicator disabled, so you can see a list out there. And then you can see player name, vehicle class, vehicle name, all these things we have on. Player name, their vehicle class, for this is for team, and then you have enemy here. We can change all that. We can change the font size if we want it to be larger or smaller there, as well as for the team if we want to change that also. Damage tables, you have damage deflected that you deflected on, damage deflected enemy on, display the damage deflected by your armor in the incoming damage table, and then display your damage if deflected by enemy vehicles in the outgoing damage table. So that's like in the post-battle results. Combat log, killed by enemy on, display notification you're killed by an enemy. Killed by an ally, we have that on. Other notifications, display the notifications, meaning ping, spotting, AFK, etc. We have that on. Commendations, the commendation size, we can adjust the size of it. We can have the box, we can have that off or on. I think that's kind of labeled, maybe up through here. Notifications, display notification when a commendation is received. We actually have that off. I think for fun, so I'm just going to have it on. Commendation sounds also on. Oh, notification. I think leave the notification off, but I'll leave it on for the sound. And then you have confirmation if you want to purchase a consumable on. Maybe you don't like it asking you if you want to confirm this consumable purchase. You can turn that off. Module unlock, show confirmation window while unlocking a module for vehicle. Please note that the confirmation window will still appear when using reputation instead of XP. So that's also a good to note there. A module purchase, we have that off. Insignia auto resupply, and then your BP stock refresh, show confirmation window when attempting to manually refresh a battle path shop stock, active battle path only. So we can turn those off and on, and so we'll apply the one change we did at least with the collar. So we've gone over all those, and then you just have support here. So I'll just go ahead and click it. But if you want to come in here and you want to submit, you want to contact Armored Warfare, you will put your information in. We can select, I think global apparently is the only option here, and then select what issues we're having in game. We can do all that here, subject message, add an attachment, and so forth. So if we're having any issues, then you have a training mission, which I think we just did a week or two ago. And yeah, so that's basically, that's all there is to it. Then you have return to game or quit to desktop. So we're just going to return to the game here. So I hope this video has been helpful for you today as we continue to go through this new player guide series here in Armored Warfare. If you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. And until next time, take care.